IIM Bangalore was the top IIM call that I had. I did have calls from the smaller IIM Trichy, and so on. Without any prep, I tried to give CAT exam in my fourth year. For me, I think as a person, I'm a very hopeful person. And since I'd given the mock, I kind of did not have a fear for the exam.
I'm pretty sure things have changed a lot, although the basics remain the same.
Statistics was where I was bad at, and my speed in math was also poor. CAT is about not just about how many questions you can get right, it's also about how many questions you understand you don't know
Right.
the answer to and skip.
So you started preparing for CAT. How did you start? How did you find out how to prepare? Now
So
I know it's a different generation, but when I had to start, I had no clue what to do. And most of the people, because I was also in electronics, most of the people were either looking at doing MSc or going abroad and things like that in the electronics and computers field rather than doing an MBA. But then this was back in the 90s without internet.
So for me, I think as a person, I'm a very hopeful person and more confident sometimes than maybe required. So without any prep, I tried to give CAT exam in my fourth year of engineering, trying to see how much I would score and then try to land in any of the colleges at that point in time. And I did not get a good enough score. But what that test did tell me is, hey, these are your strong fortes because I'd scored 90 plus in the verbal and quant, right? Verbal part of it or the qualitative part of it. And then the quants part of it, I was low. So at least I knew, hey, this is where my weakness is. So that was the first learning. And since I'd given the mock, I kind of did not have a fear for the exam. So I think the next step that I did was join with one of those academies, the Times or something like that. And once I joined them, they had mock exams that would, give you a breakdown of which topics you're good at, which topics you're bad at. I think that breakdown really helped because, like I said, I was juggling work and CAT prep, right? So one of the things I would do is pick one of the topics they had listed as my weak topic and then either take up some online quizzes or I would read up more on those. I would have a formula book where just the highlights of those topics I'm weak at, I would note down shortcuts and things like that. I would note down and I would keep referring those notes even when I'm get some free time so that I'm getting stronger at those topics, right? And so that kind of helps. So mock exams, focusing on the topics I'm weak at, making sure I capture the highlights of those topics and revise them. And like I said, I bought a book of like say 300 pages, and let's say I had like 100 days to CAT, that I kind of divided that 300 pages by 100. So that's almost like what 3 pages a day. Sorry. Yeah. So then I would make sure I finish those number of pages and prepare for the CAT. So that really helped. Breaking it down into smaller, achievable task every day. So it was just a checkbox, and that kind of really helped.
And so you were telling us about all the topics you were good at. What are the kind of topics? Because I'm pretty sure things have changed a lot, although the basics remain the same.
Yes.
What are the different sections and topics you have in the CAT?
So it's been almost 10 years since I gave the exam, so I'm not remembering the specific topic as such. But like I said, from the first attempt at CAT itself, I knew my number game sucked. So the second time also, when I gave the mock exams, also I pretty much told the same. I think statistics was where I was bad at, and my speed in math was also poor, is what I understood. So there were few things that I did to improve on these, practice more for the stat topic. Like I said, have a formula book, note down all those quick shortcuts and all. And for speed, what I did is I would take a timer and set it, let's say, for 10 minutes. And I'm not sure now, but I did some kind of reverse calculation to figure out per question how
Right.
much time can I spend, right? And because I also realized CAT is about not just about how many questions you can get right, it's also about how many questions you understand you don't know
Right.
the answer to and skip, right? So the idea was within that time, I have to figure out whether I can answer this question or not and move on to avoid the negative score. So what I would do is I would take like 10 questions and target it, let's say, for like 15 minutes and see how much I'm able to answer, mark myself on accuracy, speed, and try to improve on that. And again, I would go back, write the mock exams, see if I've improved in those areas. Next, what is a weak area to tackle? So it's kind of like an iterative way
Yes,
that I
yes,
get to
and
improve.
I think you picked up a very important point in that is it's an entrance test. CAT is an entrance test for management education. It's not an entrance test like an IIT entrance where they're trying to see how much you know. Here they are trying to see how much do you have a self awareness that I don't know, like you said, to skip those questions. It's about prioritizing your own strengths and weaknesses and then taking it forward and then maximizing your score. So I think you hit the nail nail on the head, and you practiced to improve your weaknesses, and your two weaknesses were, like you said, stats and timing in maths. How did you
Yeah.
know within those sections that what you're good at? I mean, within stats there must be different types of questions, and the reason I'm asking is nowadays I've heard that there are loads of online coaching, but you didn't do an online coaching, if I understood that correct. And then 10 years ago, though,
No.
without online, how do you analyze your weaknesses, that this type of question I'm good at, that type of question I'm not good at?
Actually, I think by the time I was doing the course, Times did have an online
Okay.
mock exam, which is how I remember practicing it. You would have these, they would organize it in school labs. So you would go take those tests and they would give you like a analysis of
Right.
the test, the breakdown and everything. In fact, they used to have their own percentile system, which was way more brutal and compare you with the rest of the time student and give you percentiles and all of that. I think they did. What the mock exam did not have, which I think CAT had, is if I remember right, has this adaptive thing. The more tougher the questions you answer, higher the chance of the next question is tougher. Which I think the Times one did not have. It would be standard questions for everybody, if I remember right. But yeah, they might have
Okay,
improved in
okay,
the
that's
last
very
few years.
interesting.
I'm
I
not
didn't
very
know that CAT is adaptive now. I had no clue. I know GMAT is adaptive, but CAT I thought was the same set of
okay.
questions, or like for everyone. But that's, I mean, this was your second attempt. You were giving, you'd done it in your fourth year, and then you did a bit of
Yeah.
mock test coaching, and then you gave it again. What happened then? How many calls did you get? What
Yeah.
happened?
So IIM Bangalore was the top
Hmm.
IIM call that I had. I did have calls from the smaller IIMs, IIM Trichy and so on. And yeah, I was actually not planning to attend my IIM Bangalore interview because I was like, I don't think I can crack this interview. I was telling my mom, like, I don't think I can crack this interview. So like, why bother going? I have an important client visit at work. I might get better visibility if I stay back. I'll go for the smaller IIMs.
And
Anyway, a lot more IIMs to
your
attend
dad
that.
was happy with, as long as it
And
starts with an IM, it doesn't matter.
Rinku, you just told us you're an optimistic
yeah, it
person.
doesn't matter. And
We started the interview with you saying you're optimistic.
yeah, I am an optimistic person who was evaluating her options. And the option was, like I said, a client was visiting also at work and it meant good visibility, right? So it was, hey, do I juggle between this important client visit versus an IIM Bangalore interview? And I was optimizing for that. But yeah, it was my mom who said, no, I think this is one of those things which if you don't try, you're going to regret. So go for it. So mom and I went to IIM Bangalore and we gave the interview. And yeah, it went surprisingly well. And on that note, even for the interview preps, there were mock interviews that I had attended. Most of them were either IIT grads or people who had cracked IIM before but did not for it kind of folks, right? So I had given interviews with them and they kind of helped evaluate, okay, what needs to improve and how to get better, what are some basic questions to work on.
And is that
And
this
that
mock
really helped
interview?
as
Is
well.
that like a particular course that you had to pay for, or was it with people you knew who helped you?
So it was all part of the
Okay,
package that I had opted for my
right.
coaching. So it included those mock tests, it included offline classes, and it included mock interviews once
See,
you
Vix,
get
now
your IIM call.
this is where why I think she is an optimistic person, because someone like me, I would never pay for the interview thing until I got the interview. I would say, "Ki boss, let's do cat. आएगा interview फिर पैसे देंगे उसके. I'm not taking
Same
the
with me.
entire package."
Same with me.
So, but for the record, I did not know there was an interview for IIM Bangalore. I just thought you write cat, and then they sought people. Like I said, I was really low on awareness, right? I think for me, everything, all of these process, I was discovering as it happens. Like for example, there is an initial fees you have to pay to confirm your seat in IIM. I did not know about it. I was not prepared for it. It took some time to figure out how to even navigate your finances for the IIMs and so on. So I think for me, I learned a lot on the way, which is all the more reason I'm glad to be doing this, create that awareness for people. So, when they make the decision, they can be more confident
So you took this
in how they
interview
go about
prep
it.
and you reached I am Bangalore. Did you miss your client visit, or did you do it?
Yes, that did not go really well, but anyway, I did miss it. So I went to the interview. So I think back then we had GD. So there was group discussion on the topic of how can we
Right.
prevent swine flu, I think. And we also had to make some notes or essay, write an essay on it maybe. So that was there. And then we had an interview. There was one person against 4, 5 people. I remember there was someone with a laptop there fact checking as I
Oh,
speak week. So yeah, because I got my billion, trillion, some one of those numbers off, and he was like, "No, are you talking about this?" And then I was like, "Oops."
Very good, very good. I think that's good because
So yeah,
nowadays with technology, not just the way the world is moving, because that's real life. People do fact check you all the time. In fact, sometimes when you're saying something, you will see Vix frantically typing because he's doing it online right now. So that's always going to happen. And but great. But
And
Rinku, I just
that fact
wonder.
checker was someone from IIM Bangalore who was fact checking.
I think it was the alumni who was part of the panel. We again,
Might be one of
I
us
just
who
know
go there
someone
for
fact
interviews,
checked.
and
I
then because
don't
we are
really
used to
recall
fact checking
who
everything that
did
people
that.
say, must be doing that. So you cracked IIM Bangalore. You got there, or did you also get do the other smaller IIMs and hedge your bets?
No, I think I gave my IIM Bangalore interview, and the results for IIM Bangalore came before the smaller
Right.
IIM, so did not give the interview.
So you got in, and your dad was fine with, okay, marriage is postponed now.
Marriage is definitely postponed. My dad was very, very happy. I think he had almost tears when I graduated. So it was definitely one of his, I did not expect, but wow. My daughter did it kind of moment for him.
So then, could tell us about IIM Bangalore. How was your journey there? How was your? What did you learn? What did you like and not like about IIM Bangalore?
So to be candid, I think IIM Bangalore, the first term of it was a bit of a shock to my system because I think I grew up only in Chennai, and then language wise in Chennai we either speak English or Tamil, right? And suddenly you have like a lot more people speaking in a lot more languages, and I think for me to process all of that did take some time. So that was one. Second thing I think is the level of freedom that I got with joining IIM. Just like in Chennai, at least, I guess, because parents were there and, friends and family, everybody were around. There was always this, you meet them quick, you're back home by 10, but here's IIM, and then you're stretching to like 3 a.m. to finish off those assignments and all of that. I think even that was a little bit of a shock to me, the way I have to manage my times and all of that. So these were some of the things that did shock me. On the other end, it was also exciting new opportunities. I never thought, the world could be so full of options, and you make your own decisions and all of that. So it was definitely exciting. I think the first week of IIM where you get to meet your seniors, all of that was really, really fun. It was a bit of a trade-off there, like the shock versus embracing the new. And I think by second term I had really adapted to the IIM
But language and
life.
all these things aside, what was the biggest cultural shock to your system,
Mhm.
which you never thought would happen right in front
Uh,
of you? Was there anything like that?
I think there was one thing that really shocked me was the way the cultural funds are done, right? At least in my undergrad, we would look at we bare minimum funds, right? And we kind of never really dreamed big. But in IIM, the way the sponsorship works and the way the dreaming happens for those cultural events and all was just crazy, right? It's like, hey, let's have a car in the middle of the ground and all those concerts and things like that. So I think that was another thing, like dream big, right? I think it took me some time to come out of that because I was capped by my limitations before, but then to understand, hey, now I can dream big and it can actually come true, that was another shock
Right,
of.
right. So, and what about the academics? You came from like a computer science engineering background, and on the other hand, there would be a lot of people from more liberal arts background and all that who we hear sometimes struggle a bit more in catching up with the studies and all that. So, did you
Right.
find academics
Right.
challenging or very different, or it was all fine?
So academics was a mixed bag. I think subjects like related to marketing and yeah, those kind of courses I was really good at. But the subjects that are related to accounting, I was horrible at. Like no matter how hard I tried, I didn't think I could clear those. And I think till the end, I struggled with understanding those concepts. That's something I think I wish I had some extra help to manage.